Welcome back to Canada Digest. Today we are going to discuss on the topic work energy theorem. For that, let us recall the equations of motion. We have the relation v square minus u square equal to 2a's, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration and s is the displacement. From this, let us write the equation of displacement, that is s equal to v square minus u square by 2a. And we know if force and displacement are in the same direction, then we can define work done as work done W is equal to force multiplied by displacement. Work done W is equal to Fs. This is the condition when force and displacement are in the same direction. Now, from Newton's second law, we can write F is equal to ma, that is mass multiplied by acceleration. So, it is from Newton's second law. So, if I just substitute here, what happens? We will be getting work done W is equal to ma into S. And the expression of S we already know, that is v square minus u square by 2a. So, if we substitute, what happens? We will be getting ma into v square minus u square by 2a. Here a is common, so I am cancelling that out. So, what we will get? We will be getting mv square by 2 minus mu square by 2, which I can also write like half mv square minus half mu square. If v is the final velocity, half mv square will be the final kinetic energy. Let me take it as kf. Minus, if u is the initial velocity, half mu square will be the initial kinetic energy. Let me take it as ki. So, we got work done W is equal to kf minus ki. Right, that is final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. We can call it change in kinetic energy represented by delta k. So, we got work done W is equal to delta k, that is change in kinetic energy. So, now we can state work energy theorem. Work energy theorem states that the change in kinetic energy of a particle is equal to work done on it by net force. The term by net force is very much important. So, let us once again state work energy theorem. Work energy theorem states that the change in kinetic energy of a particle is equal to work done on it by net force. So, why this term is very much important, you will understand when we solve this question. So, let us see the question. A raindrop of mass 2 gram falling from a height of 1 kilometer hits the ground with a speed of 40 meters per second. Find the work done by 1. Gravitational force, 2. Opposing resistive force. So, let us see the first part. Work done by gravitational force. In general, we have work done W is equal to F dot S, which is equal to Fs cos theta. Right. We have to find the work done by gravitational force. So, we can say F is the gravitational force, S is the displacement and cos theta. Theta is the angle between force and displacement. It is given in the question, the raindrop is falling from a height of 1 kilometer. Right. So, it is falling down. So, we can say its displacement is vertically downwards. Let me take the displacement is vertically downwards. Then what about gravitational force? It also acts vertically downwards. So, this is the case, acts vertically downwards. Then what will be the angle between them? We can say theta will be equal to 0 degrees. Right. Then what is cos 0? Cos 0 is equal to 1. So, we got this. Right. And S will be equal to 1 kilometer. Right. Now, we have to find force, gravitational force. How much is gravitational force? Let me take the mass of the raindrop as m. So gravitational force F will be given by mass multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. F is equal to mg. So that is the gravitational force, right? So if we have this much idea, then we can calculate the work done. Work done W is equal to force, that is mg. Displacement, that is height h, mgh into cos 0 equal to 1. So we can write work done by gravitational force is equal to mgh. So we have the values, we can just substitute. Yeah, one more thing. The mass is given in grams. So we have to convert it into SI unit when we are solving the problem, right? So we have to convert the grams into kilogram. So we can write mass m is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 3 kilogram. Right. Now, the displacement is given in kilometer. We have to convert it into meters. So we can write h is equal to 1 into 10 power 3 kilometer. Sorry. 1 into 10 power 3 meters. Right. So we got the value. Now we can substitute. So what happens? Wg will be equal to mass, that is 2 into 10 power minus 3 into g. Let us take approximately 10 into 10 into height, that is 10 power 3 into 10 power 3. Now we can cancel out 10 power 3, 10 power minus 3. So we'll be getting work done by gravitational force equal to 20 joules. So we got the answer for the first part, work done by gravitational force. Wg is equal to 20 joules. Now let us solve the second part. So to solve this, I told we have to use work energy theorem. And it is here why this term is important, why this term is significant. I've told the change in kinetic energy is equal to work done by net force. Okay, so what are the forces here? There are two forces, that is gravitational force and opposing resistive force. What is actually opposing resistive force? When the raindrop is falling down, there will be some sort of opposition due to air or wind, we can say. So it will be experiencing some sort of opposition, that is called opposing resistive force, right? So we can write like this. We have change in kinetic energy is equal to work done by net force. So I can write work done by gravitational force plus work done by opposing force. Let me opposing resistive force. Let me take it WR. So work done by gravitational force plus work done by opposing resistive force equal to change in kinetic energy. So this is why the term is important. Change in kinetic energy is equal to work done by net force. Here there are two forces in the system, gravitational force and opposing resistive force. So that is why I have written work done by gravitational force plus work done by resistive force equal to change in kinetic energy. Right. So here we have to find change in kinetic energy now. Change in kinetic energy delta K is equal to, I can write Kf minus Ki. The final velocity is given, that is it hits the ground with a speed of 40 meters per second. So final velocity is equal to 40 meters per second. What about initial velocity? It is falling from a height of 1 kilometer. So at a height of 1 kilometer, its velocity will be equal to 0. So we can take its initial velocity u is equal to 0. Right. So we can say if initial velocity is 0, then Ki will be equal to 0. So what happens? We will be getting delta K is equal to how much? Kf, which is equal to half into how much is mass? 2 into 10 power minus 3 into V square, that is 40 square. So we can cancel out 2. So we'll be getting 1.6 joules. So we got change in kinetic energy is equal to 1.6 joules. So let us substitute here. Now we know the work done by gravitational force. We also know change in kinetic energy. Then we can find work done by opposing resistive force. So let us substitute work done by gravitational force, that is 20 joules. So we'll be getting 20 joules plus work done by resistive force equal to 1.6 joules. So we can write work done by resistive force equal to 1.6 minus 20, which is equal to minus 18.4 joules. Next we have the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. So let's see. We have the expression kinetic energy Ke is equal to half mv square, where m is mass and v is the velocity. Now what I am doing means I am multiplying and dividing by m. So what will happen? I will be getting 1 by 2m into m square v square multiplied and divided by m. So I can write this also like 1 by 2m, m square v square also can be written as mv the whole square. Now we know linear momentum P is equal to mass multiplied by velocity. P is equal to mv. So the equation can be rewritten as Ke is equal to P square by 2m. So if I rearrange, I'll be getting P square is equal to 2mk, or P is equal to root of 2mk. So we have linear momentum P is equal to root of 2mk. So now let us solve a question. A shooter fires a bullet of mass 100 gram with a speed of 100 meters per second on a soft plywood of thickness 4 centimeter. The bullet emerges with 10% of its initial kinetic energy. Find the emergent speed of the bullet. So this is the question. We are asked to find the emergent speed of the bullet. Emergent speed means, see, let me assume this is the plywood. So the bullet strikes the plywood. So what happens? It will be coming out with certain speed. So the speed with which it comes out of this plywood, that is what we have to find, that is emergent speed of the bullet. Let us see. We are given with initial speed, that is u is equal to 100 meters per second. From this we can calculate kinetic energy, that is initial kinetic energy will be equal to how much? Half into mass is given in grams. So you have to convert it into kilogram. Mass equal to 100 gram, which is equal to 100 into 10 power minus 3 kilogram. This point is very much important. Whenever you are given with a question, you should be always solving it in SI unit. Okay, so half into mass, we will be getting 10 power minus 1 into v square, that is 100 square. So what will happen? We will be getting 500 joules. Ki will be initial kinetic energy will be equal to 500 joules. Then what else is given in the question? The bullet emerges with 10% of its initial kinetic energy. So the bullet comes out with 10% of its initial kinetic energy. 90% of the kinetic energy was lost in the plywood. So we can write final kinetic energy will be equal to 10% of initial kinetic energy, right? So we can write 10 by 100 into 500. So what happens? Cancelling out. So we'll be getting final kinetic energy will be equal to 50 joules. Right. So if we are given with final kinetic energy, then we can find emergent speed by equating it to half mv square. So we can write kf is equal to half mv square, which is equal to 50. We are asked to find emergent speed, which means the speed with which the bullet comes out of the plywood. So if we substitute, we'll be getting, if we just rearrange, v square will be equal to 2 goes up. So 50 into 2 divided by m. Mass is how much? 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1. So what happens? We'll be getting v square equal to 100. This goes up into 10. So v square will be equal to how much? 1000. So we'll be getting v is equal to root of 1000. So root of 1000 I can also write like v is equal to 100. Root of 100 means 10. So I'll be getting v is equal to root of 10 root 10. So how much is root 10? We have root 9 is equal to 3. Then what about root 16? It will be equal to 4. So root 10 will be somewhere between 3 and 4. So it will be like 3.1 or 3.2, in between 3.1 or 3.2. Right, let us take it approximately equal to 3.2. So we'll be getting v is equal to 10 into 3.2. Right, so v will turn out to be equal to 32 meters per second. So we got the emergent speed of the bullet. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts regarding this, please let us know in the comments below. Thank you.